So a study just came out with 3 Illinois towns named the best for bringing back an 80s-style childhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see Urbana is on this list.
It is. You want to tell us the rest?
I'm curious what qualifies as bringing back an 80s-style childhood.
So
What did
they
use?
talk about being in the streets, playing outside. You know, back in the 80s and 90s, kids were going outside more often. They were able to have a closer community with their neighbors, things like that. That type of
Getting on your bike, staying outside all day.
Right.
I think in looking at this list, so number 1 is Urbana, number 2 is Geneva, number 3 is Batavia. And I think, you know, I don't know what it says statistically about safety in those areas, but I'm sure safety has to play into that because sadly, depending on where you live, you really can't have a typical childhood.
Very true.
And it's crazy. I've been on some crime scenes before where you drive just a few miles away and it's like a completely different world. So I'm happy to know that kids are still able to go and play outside. So that's a positive.
That is, it really is. And it's exciting that people are getting off of their phones and being outside a little bit more too. Because that was a big part of my childhood personally. Just being able to be in the neighborhood, run around, make friends, make little dirt pies. That is a real childhood.
Did you eat them? The dirt pies?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
I got in
I'm not gonna
trouble
lie.
over a dirt pie. Would you like to hear the story?
Tell me about it.
Okay, so we're making dirt pies in my neighborhood, and there was this little boy that was very annoying. Hi, Philip, because I know you still hate me to this day, and I've run into Philip as an adult. Very interesting. But long story short, we were making dirt pies, and Philip talked a lot and got on my nerves, so I made him eat it. True story. And, you know, Philip then runs and tells his mom, I get in trouble. My mom asked me, did I do it? I said, well, yeah, he talked a lot. I did it. And I ran into Philip in my adulthood back here in Chicago after I had moved back. You know, I moved back here 8 years ago, roughly. And he was like, remember that dirt pie? I was like, yeah. I was like, it seems like you still need it today. And it was a fun time. Being a kid and being able to play outside, some amazing memories.
Amazing.
Yeah. I still play outside. Do you? Well, you do. You have a garden.
I
That's
do.
A form of
I
playing
garden.
outside.
I like to hike. I like to swim. So yeah, I would say because I had that childhood where I was, you know, conditioned to do that. I love doing that still to this day.
A lot of people in Chicago still go to Geneva to this day as adults. It's kind of like a local. It's not really local, but kind of like a local vacation place where a lot of us go, and their downtown is absolutely fabulous. So a lot of people go there and just have a good time. Urbana, it's a college town, kind of sleepy in some ways. So it makes sense that that people would go, well, kids would have the opportunity to go there and live there and play and be kids. So I'm happy to hear that. That's great.
Yeah, that was such a great study.